Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Sun.
Jake Bowers and Willie Adames put their talents on display once again last night, with Bowers hustling home from second on a pass ball before blasting a 3-run shot off Yankees ace Luis Severino, while Willie Adames heads up play, gunned down Gary Sanchez, and sealed a 7-6 win. Tonight, Yadi Chirinos returns to go to the mound against Masahiro Tanaka in Game 2 from the Trop. Tonight at Tropicana Field, the Rays continue their homestand. This will be the middle game of this series between the Rays and the New York Yankees. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, the Rays were winners last night, 7-6 final. In fact, they won 16 of their last 19 games. And you know who's had a big part of that streak? It has been Daniel Robertson, who particularly the last couple of games has really come up big.
Listen, Daniel Robertson has put a nice little streak together, fresh off of a 3-hit game last night, including an opposite field home run off Luis Severino. His last 6 games, these are the numbers. He's hit safely in 5 of the 6 games, 7 out of 19, the .368 average, the on-base percentage at .429, and a couple of huge home runs. You think about the pinch hit, walk-off grand slam, and then this one last night in the bottom of the 6th after the Yankees had closed the lead, or closed it, Rays lead to 4-3. He takes them back out to 5-3, and they would continue to go on there and win that ball game. So some big hits and a nice streak for Daniel Robertson. How about this streak? This streak is ridiculous. Over his last 2 games here at Tropicana Field, Giancarlo Stanton, 9 out of 9 with 2 intentional walks. You go back to June the 24th, 5 for 5 with an intentional walk, and then of course last night 4 out of 4 with an intentional walk. Plenty of tape out there on what he's doing right against the Rays. Time to figure out what he can do wrong. This staff needs to figure that out.
Well, remember the first few weeks of the season when this young right-hander, Yadi Chirinos, was so impressive before going on the disabled list? Well, he's back tonight. He's going to make this start. And when we come back, Michelle Margot will bring us up to date on Yadi Chirinos.
He is a very familiar face in Yonny Chirinos back on the mound today. He is taking the place of Blake Snell, who is going on the disabled list with that left shoulder fatigue. But Yonny Chirinos has not made a start in the big league since April 28th. Here is manager Kevin Cash on the expectations for Chirinos today.
He's built up. He got to that 80, 90 pitch mark. We're comfortable with that. Obviously, that's enough pitches. It's just the challenge of navigating through the Yankees lineup. But we're confident that Yonny's he did some good things while he was up here. He went on the DL. He went down there, got his velocity back up, got his strike throwing back up. So it's good to have him back.
Chirinos takes the rock for the Rays for the first time in 3 months, and will have to do it against Masahiro Tanaka and the New York Yankees. Tampa Bay has the chance to take the series. First pitch from Tropicana Field coming up.
Coming off last night's 7-6 win, they won 5 in a row over New York. Season series even at 5 apiece, and they will send Yonny Chirinos to the mound tonight. He'll face this starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Brett Gardner leads off at center, followed by Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. He hits third, plays left. In the cleanup spot, Didi Gregorius hitting in front of Miguel Andujar, the third baseman. The DH is Greg Bird. At second base, Brandon Drury. Neil Walker will play first. He'll hit in the 8th spot in front of the catcher, Austin Romine.
Well, and for Yonny Chirinos, let's take a look at his scouting report on him. Number 1, big splash. How about his first 3 outings for the Rays? Kind of wondered what you were going to get out of him in his first 14 in the 3rd innings up here. 8 hits, no earned runs, 12 strikeouts, and he was doing that in fewer than 13 pitches an inning. So he really burst on the scene, and now you wonder, is he here to stay? You think about the trade deadline talk, you think about the fact that he can stretch out, give Kevin Cash innings, and you got to think that the answer to that is probably going to be yes.
Well, a big opportunity for him, and thinking back to spring training, there were a couple of guys relatively unknown who Cash talked about all spring. Joey Wendell was one of them. We've seen the year he's had. Yonny Chirinos was the other one. and he got off to that great start and then ran into the forearm strain. So Yonny Chirinos all set to go. Here's Gardner leading it off for New York, and the first pitch is in there, a strike. 94 miles per hour down, and we are underway.
And expect to see that a lot. You know, you go back and you think about his arsenal: a power sinker, slider, good split.
There's a base hit shot the other way into left, and Bowers out there tonight in left returns the ball to the infield.
And let's set the rest of that Rays defense for you. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source, and of course Bowers out there, and then Kevin Kiermaier and Malik Smith. And across that infield third to first, you've got Duffy, Adames, Robertson, and Crone, with Jesus Sucre back behind the plate.
Well, now Aaron Judge. Well, if you catch too much of the plate, this New York lineup will let you hear from them. And so location's going to be key, as you point out here with Chirinos tonight. Cut and a miss. Strike one on the fastball.
Well, going back to what you said, this is a team that by far and away leads the major leagues in home runs, and they have power up and down their lineup. So you're right, if you're going to live out over the heart of the plate, you're not going to be out there for very long. So you think about the command and also the movement that Chirinos gets specifically on that sinker. It's going to be very, very important for him tonight.
And it's quickly ahead. Well located there, down and away.
Run the sinker in off the plate, the slider down and away. Move it in, move it away. That's how you got to pitch against these guys with all this power. Make them uncomfortable.
And a liner, that's a base hit. Into left, one hop, quickly returned to the infield. The Yankees come out, putting their first two hitters aboard.
Much too hittable of a pitch and an 0-2 count. You think about the slider we just highlighted to get to two strikes, down and away at the knees. Watch where this one ends up. Stays right in the heart of the plate. Much too good of a pitch for Judge to be able to get to.
Now Giancarlo Stanton, and we talked last night about what he's been doing lately over the last month plus. 32 games, 375, and it's 9 of his last 9 here at Tropicana Field. Has been on base 11 consecutive plate appearances at the Trop. After the first pitch and fouled it, strike one.
Hey, that was what was interesting about last night's ball game, when the Yankees are trying to mount a rally, and with runners on first and second, Gregorius lays down the bunt. Successful, but guess what? With Stanton coming up next, they walk him.
Yep.
So you've got a guy that 9 for his last 9 that does not get to swing the bat in that pivotal top of the 9th inning.
And now it's 0-2.
And I don't know if I would call that a swing of the bat. Watch the way that this ball takes off in. A little mini wave.
Boy, that's some kind of takeoff there on that pitch. Now 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. The runners are going to advance as that ball popped away from Sucre. Stanton strikes out, but in the process, the Yankees now have both runners in scoring position.
It's the split, and watch the way that this ball just buries itself into the dirt just behind the plate, and that ball rolls right up the left side of Sucre. Off the heel of the glove, up the left arm, and over that shoulder.
So the strikeout on the pitch in the dirt. The runners move up on the wild pitch. And here's Didi Gregorius. They overload the right side, shift on against the left-handed bat of Gregorius. Boy, there's some movement on that pitch.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, started it maybe on the outer edge. Watch where this thing takes off. And you get the swing in the other batter's box.
I mean, that's impressive. Oh, my goodness.
Can't teach that.
No.
You cannot teach that.
Not a bat long enough to make contact with that pitch. Tap back over the mound. Charged by Adames. Throw to first will be in time. The run scores. Gardner crosses the plate. Judge goes to third. Gregorius with a run batted in. So that move up on the wild pitch has cost the Rays a run at this point.
Yeah, quick start. You get the strikeout wild pitch. Nice play there by Adames, though, having to charge this ball. This chopper just over the head of Chirinos. That's where it gets into a little bit of trouble, but Adames there to make it happen.
Two gone with a run home. Judge at third. Andujar the hitter. Miguel Andujar. That's a strike. Only 4-year-old right-hander Yonny Chirinos. Tapper foul. He's made 12 pitches. They've all been strikes, but among them a wild pitch. 2 hits, a wild pitch, and a chopper, and they get a run. Man at third, 2 outs. Chopped foul to the coaching box and beyond. Aaron Boone has the Yankees running second in the East. Now 6 games back of Boston. New York 63 and 35. Up and a little bit off the plate there at 96.
You know, and when you're 6 back of Boston, even at this point, you start to get into, hey guys, we got to pick it up and start winning some ball games. You know, those 2 teams about a month ago were within a game or 2 of each other. Boston has just gone off. The Yankees have kind of held serve, and they just continue to inch further and further back.
And a cut and a miss. That will retire the side. Andujar strikes out. A couple of strikeouts in the inning, but a run scores. Kevin Kiermaier, Matt Duffy, and Jake Bauers coming up. 1-0 ball game. Line up presented by your Southern Ford dealers. We'll have Kevin Kiermaier leading off. Then Matt Duffy and Jake Bowers, C.J. Crone, G-Man Choi, Daniel Robertson, and the bottom three, Malik Smith, Willie Adames, and Jesus Sucre.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the New York Yankees going to be right-hander Masahiro Tanaka, making his 16th start of the season. The record of 7-2, ERA of 4.54. His last start before the All-Star break was against the Cleveland Indians. Pitched into the 7th inning, giving up 2 earned runs and 6 1/3 in a no decision.
Here's Kevin Kiermaier, shortens on the bat, takes the pitch upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. First time the Rays have seen Tanaka this year. Kiermaier takes that one outside. 2-0. Kevin, throughout his career, pretty good numbers, very good numbers, in fact, against Tanaka. 7 of 15 with a home run. Foul the other way. That's going to be out of play. Kiermaier had a base hit in last night's win, scored a run. He scored the first run in the 3-run 5th. This one disappears on him, and it's a 2-2 count.
Well, I will tell you this. He will keep you busy as a hitter. If you think about all the different pitches that he throws, if it doesn't involve a knuckle being part of the pitch, he throws it. I mean, sinkers, cutters, sliders.
And a cut and a miss right there.
Yeah. That's the big one.
Well, let's take a look at that split.
And this has been his go-to for a long time. Such a tough pitch to lay off of. It stays in the zone for an awful long time. He keeps it right down there at the bottom of the zone consistently. Don't see too many hangers with Tanaka.
Matt Duffy. He checks on the pitch just high. Yeah, for him, that fastball is about 3rd in line. Behind the split, the slider. They're going to get around to the fastball. And you can see why already here in the handful of these pitches he's made.
And he's not overpowering. You know, he doesn't have that kind of fastball that can light you up. Now, it can surprise you, and he can climb the ladder with it from time to time. But sitting right there, you know, low 90s. He comes at you with just a lot of different looks, uses the entire strike zone, makes you defend it.
Seven and 2 on the year, coming off a 13-12 season a year ago. Takes a shot and missed wide there. Pretty good take by Duffy.
That was a tough little cutter right there. Another pitch that he will go with. You think about the 2-seamer, 4-seamer, the fastball, the slider, the cutter, occasional curveball, the split.
3-1. Well, you've heard so much about Tanaka and his approach to pitching, his presence out there, and the influence he's had on the guy who pitched last night, Severino. Here's a liner into right field. Judge on the run and makes the catch toward right center. Duffy's the second out. 2 gone. A lot of people have talked about how Tanaka preached patience to Severino and his development. And really, if you're a hitter, you need patience against this guy, because he'll have you chasing pitches all over the place.
That's exactly right. You got to force him into the zone. You can't get caught up in his game, which is to just, like I said, move the ball around, change speeds.
There's a strike.
And can't get over aggressive. You've just got to wait for that mistake in the zone until you get to 2 strikes, and then of course you're going to have to go and battle.
ball, 1 strike.
He's just smart enough to know that it's not going to play out over the plate, so he works the fringes as well as anybody. Well versed.
2-1. This could be an interesting matchup tonight with Bowers. You know, Bowers can be patient at the plate. He's been really good against the hard stuff. And here's a guy who tends to stay away from that. And already here, some near misses, and the count is 3-1 as Bowers has been patient.
That's a really good take. You could see where he was going to go out there, wanted to swing the bat there, then all of a sudden good pitch recognition, and you lay off, and it's just off.
And a strike is called. Slipped a fastball out there.
I mean, slipped. You could not have put that in a more perfect position.
Just a little part of that plate. And now a cut and a miss. He strikes him out. Late break on what appeared to be a slider. 1-0 New York.
Gary Sanchez last night did not have a great night. First of all, this ball on a cross-up gets away from him. Jake Bowers hustled all the way from second base. He was not really busting it after that ball as it got away. That didn't look too good. And then the game ender right here. Damas not going to be able to get there in time. Credit him, heads up play and staying with the play. But Gary Sanchez out of the box, nothing much until right about there as he realizes what is happening. Too little, too late. And I'll tell you, he has not been a good day today either for him as far as the fans and everybody else.
Yeah, a lot of discussion about him, and you get to the ballpark and they've made the move sending Sanchez to the disabled list, and a lot of ways to look at that. A pitch to Bird, who opened the second inning here in a 1-0 game, in there for a strike.
Yeah, very interesting.
You know, he said last night, well, I should have run harder, and that was essentially the post-game quote. Well, that leaves him open to a lot of people wondering why he didn't, and then you know, the groin issue came up.
Right.
And then the next thing you know, he's on the DL.
And if you look at that final play, you can see the initial disappointment of the ground ball and the assumption that the play is going to be made, the game's over. He's just kind of jogging, and then you can see the realization, oh my gosh, they're calling him safe. Now I got to go. And he actually then picked up the pace, which you wouldn't think you'd be able to do with the injury.
There's a base hit off a 1-2 pitch. Bird is aboard.
And this is what we're talking about. Watch off the bat. You're going to see this right here. Okay. This is all about Adames. What a play he made. Okay, now watch this out of the box. Nothing. Oh my gosh, they called him safe. Tries to pick it up, too little, too late. Yeah, it's interesting all the way around. But regardless, he ends up on the disabled list, and now Romine behind the plate.
Brandon Drury with a runner aboard. Pitch is a strike. Yeah, so you're going to come down a lot of camps there. Number one, he does have an injury. Number two, he didn't run hard. And number three, you know, from the team perspective, you've got an interesting situation on your hands there. Either way, if he was playing and he was injured, he was recently off the DL. What's he doing? If he's not ready in a position where he can play 100%, and if he is 100% and then didn't run hard, then you're thinking, well, he's playing as if he's injured, so put him on the DL.
Puts Aaron Boone in a tough spot.
Yep.
Rookie manager in a very tight race in the American League East and in the American League in general.
Well, the one thing a manager always wants to do anyway, and on another level needs to do, is be in his player's corner. The other side of that, from the team perspective, the player's got to be in the team's corner as well.
Yeah. Well, and that's why you think about the New York Yankees, just the market that they are in. The last thing this team needs is drama.
Yeah. And there's always going to be plenty of opportunity, because you talk about the microscope.
Oh, yeah.
There's a big one in the Big Apple. Two and two, the count on the New York second baseman. Chirinos made 15 pitches in the first inning, 14 strikes, but threw a wild pitch after giving up a couple hits, and that led to a run on a ground ball to short. Down to third. Duffy will go to Robertson. That's one, and over to first. That's two. 5-4-3 on the double play. Well, on the Toyota inside look, you take a look at the top two teams in the East. The Rays are distant third. Before the 1st of July, Boston had a 1-game lead. Now, entering today, 6.
Well, and Boston has gone 15-3. 15-3. The Yankees have gone, what, 10-8. So, like I said, Boston's taken off. The Yankees are kind of holding serve, and that lead is getting bigger and bigger. Games are dwindling. You still got a long way to go, but trying to make up 6 games on Boston the way that they're playing going to be very, very difficult. The head-to-heads are going to be huge when it comes to those two teams.
Neil Walker up here, 1-0 the count. I tell you who's had a tough night already is Sucre. These pitches from Chirinos, we saw a couple really great pitches, the way they had that late movement on them. We already had a wild pitch. We had that first pitch to Walker that to the backstop down. A lot of movement out of Chirinos so far tonight. 1 and 2. The idea is to harness all that.
Yeah, well, and here's the other thing. A lot of movement on all of his pitches, and he likes to work down in the zone. So you had better have your blockers on, because you're going to be using them an awful lot.
That's a cut and a miss. He powers that one by Walker. Mid-90s for the strikeout. Bottom of the second coming, 1-0 New York.
the second inning. Let's take a look at the last 3 pitches of the at-bat to Jake Bauers. You want to talk about pitching. Starts it down and away, just off with the split for a ball. Okay, we're going to start it again in that slot. 4-seamer right to the edge. 2 different movements, down and away and straight. Now watch, same spot. Oop, we're going to move this one in, the slider, and then he picks up the strikeout. So he started 3 different pitches in the same tube. Moved the split off the plate for a ball, 4-seamer on the edge for a strike, and then a slider right out of that slot, down and in for strike 3. That is pitching. I don't want to even say 101. That's advanced level pitching right there.
Well, he threw a first pitch strike to C.J. Cron. This one on the ground to Gregorius. One away here in the second inning. Yeah, that's why we thought it would be interesting all evening with Bauers up there in Tanaka, because Tanaka is a student of this game and he prepares as well as anybody for every start. So he's gone through this lineup and he knows what the strengths and weaknesses are of these hitters, and even Bauers, who hasn't been up that long, but long enough that we're starting to put together a little dossier on him.
Yeah. But look at the sequence that he had to put together to get him.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is way advanced.
Strike 1 to Choi. It's missed there. 1 strike. Choi, 250 overall. 269 since coming to the Rays. 1-2. Couple of strikeouts in that first inning. A 1-2-3 effort. 16 pitches in the first. He's averaged a little over 15 pitches per inning, and that right there tells you a lot about him. He doesn't waste a lot of pitches. Everyone has a plan in mind and normally pretty well executed. Two to Choi. 59-30 since coming to the Yankees from Japan. Signed a big deal in 2014 with them. And Choi is out on strikes.
That pitch is just deadly, and when he is on with it, it could be a long night. Look how he stays on top of that pitch, even with that split grip on top, and that's where you get that finish right there at the bottom of the zone, and you just cannot hold up that swing in time.
Daniel Robertson bats with 2 gone and the base is empty. Little nubber picked up by Tanaka, and the toss to first. It's a 1-2-3 second. 6 in a row retired by Tanaka. 1-0 New York.
Trivia Tuesday. So your Trivia Tuesday question for today is, before Giancarlo Stanton last night, who was the last Yankee to record hits in 9 consecutive at-bats in one road venue? Is it A, Lou Piniella, B, Reggie Jackson, or C, Don Mattingly? We'll tell you later in the broadcast. Dwayne, I have a feeling you probably know the answer to this, but don't tell anyone.
My lips are sealed until you return.
There are 2 things.
Yep.
I think that I may know the
Yep.
answer to this, and they've taken our advice. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Pitch to Romine leading off here. It's a 1-1 count. Romine, the catcher. Gardner and Judge.
That's only if I'm right, though. If I'm not right, then maybe they haven't.
Chopped to short. Adames. Sure that. Well, even more reason to stick around.
Yes.
And we'll find out. won't we?
I'm anxious
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah. Pretty sure I know who that is.
There's no question that
Yeah.
you know.
So.
Yeah. For a number of different reasons.
Brett Gardner up here, the leadoff man. He singled on the second pitch of the game and eventually scored a run after he was wild pitched over to third. He scored on the ground ball, a chop to short. There's a strike. "24-year-old right-hander out of Venezuela. And he's quickly ahead, 0-2. Well, he was impressive in the first few weeks of the season, and the forearm strain sent him to the disabled list in May. And he spent really most of the year trying to get healthy again and work out the kinks in the minor leagues. Had 9 appearances in the minors with a .496 earned run average there. The Rays very encouraged by what they saw in the spring and in the first few weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, you've got a potential building block here. I think that he kind of blew us all away his first 3 appearances of that season, 2 of them against Boston.
And he strikes out Gardner. It's 4 strikeouts now for Chirinos. Tonight, American military personnel serving overseas watching this game on AFN, the American Forces Network. We welcome all in the armed forces in countries around the world aboard naval ships at sea, and we thank you for your service. Aaron Judge taking a big swing at that one down and away, strike 1.
I think the thing that blew us away too, Dwayne, was not only how he got off to such a hot start, but the manner in which he did it. Not awed by the moment. You remember he started the Boston Red Sox home opener, and I think he went 5 shutout in that ball game, so nothing seemed to bother him.
Chop to the left side, glove by Adames. Throw to first, dug out over there by Crone. And it's a 1-2-3 third. Onto the home half we go. 1-0 New York. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by WB Mason. Who but WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. By Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Home half of the third finds Malik Smith in the batter's box to lead off. Takes that slow breaking ball in there for a strike. That's another way he has of getting ahead.
Yeah, how about that? Just a little curveball there, change of speed. Nobody's looking for it. That pitch for him kind of hides out, and he'll use it to, like you just saw, steal a quick strike.
Malik's down 0-2.
It can be a frustrating at bat against Masahiro Tanaka, and here is a big reason why.
Slider split, then the fastball. Cutter once in a while.
I think the changeup's made up. I think that's just a split that maybe doesn't have the same dive.
Yep.
Never seen him with a true changeup grip. That'd be something to look for. Trying to hunt one of those down.
Two here on Malik's. Down and in. Malik started to move and checked in plenty of time. Tanaka coming in had accumulated a little over 83 innings, had walked 22 in that stretch with 83 strikeouts. And he has another one here. That's his fourth tonight. They give him 87 on the year.
You know what makes that pitch also so good for him is he's got so much confidence in it that he throws it right out over the heart of the plate. You know, a lot of times with a split or a changeup, you're throwing it to an edge and working it off. He's got enough confidence to throw it right down the middle and trust that that movement is going to allow it to bottom out.
Now Willie Adames taps it. Tanaka a little wide at first, but apparently Walker able to keep that foot on the bag as he went stretching toward the outfield to take that throw.
Try to get into too much of a rhythm here. Watch him just field and throw all in one motion. Had plenty of time. Forcing Neil Walker to work for it.
Well, again, a case where he can throw the ball anywhere he wants with a hitter in the batter's box. Now throw it to first.
Well, there you saw it. First baseman is sprawling.
I mean, we've just watched him through 8 hitters make some just beautiful pitches from a pure pitching perspective. There's one on the corner there for a strike. Not so beautiful if you're trying to hit him.
And then you're throwing just get it to him. Big. He's got a big, wide wingspan.
Popped up, foul ball right side, headed for the seats. And now it's 0-2. A guy with a split the way he has, and they talk about that slider and not being able to pick up the dot.
That would make that extremely difficult to get after too.
Yeah, and a swing and a miss. And so Sucre is out on strikes, 5 strikeouts the first time through the lineup. 1-0 New York.
Wendell. He was awarded the 2018 Heart and Hustle Award that's awarded by MLBPAA. It's an award that honors active players who demonstrate passion for the game of baseball and best embody its values, spirit, and traditions. And Joey told me what an honor it was to receive that by the alumni who knows what they're looking for. And I asked him how he views the award and how he viewed it before he ever received it. And he said it's all about playing hard and playing the right way. And I think you guys would attest to that anyone who knows him would agree that he fits the bill.
Yeah, if there's anybody who exemplifies heart and hustle, it's Joey Wendell. From the get-go, there's been no question about that. Spring training and once the season began, and I think everybody started to see him more often, that is exactly a fitting award for him.
I may just start calling him H squared. Fits.
Why not? Yeah.
It does fit.
Yeah, he's had a great year. He's taken advantage of an opportunity he's been looking for a long time at the major league level. Ground ball down to third. Duffy with the throw to first. And Stanton is 0 for 2. And boy, that's big news. The last couple times he's been playing here at the Trop, the Rays have actually retired him twice tonight here. One away in the fourth. D.D. Gregorius.
You know what's interesting about that Heart and Hustle Award? They were given to a player on every team. And, you know, after we talked about Gary Sanchez and what happened with him in last night's ball game and now on the disabled list, but the Yankees winner of the Heart and Hustle Award, Mr. Romine,
How about that?
his backup gets the Heart and Hustle Award for the Yankees. Ironically, the day after last night.
Yep. 1-1. You know, backup catchers are in a special category. And when they really can become special members of a team. You know, they don't get to play as much as they'd like, but they're ready all the time. Into center field. Kiermaier's right there for this liner. Gregorius the second out. And mentally, they have to carry the workload whether they're back there or not. They have to be ready to handle an entire pitching staff.
Yeah, it is not an easy job at all. Tough to stay in rhythm. You think about the few at-bats that they get, and at the same time, that pitching staff, be sharp when you get out there, be ready. That's why they do so much work. You know, before ball games, you see them out there receiving, constantly working on those skills, blocking, everything to stay sharp.
You know, speaking of catchers, you saw Ramos there. There was some fear that he might be out a long time. There's a liner. That's just fair, says Mike Winters. Down toward the corner. Bowers will play the carom. Throw goes into second, not in time, and Andujar has a double. Boy, that ball was just fair. And Kevin Cash interested in seeing what the video guys come up with. Take a look at this.
Well, you see the hook. Oh, that's foul ball.
That's a foul ball.
Yes, it is.
And the Rays are going to have that looked at.
Well, you can see Mike Winters is moving away from the play to try to get out of the way of that line drive and the hook, and then kind of looking back over his shoulder. But I think we clearly saw right there that ball was foul.
So the Rays will have it looked at.
See him try to follow that down as he's moving out of the way. Yeah, that angle right there, it looked further foul than the other one.
Yeah, the Rays like that angle. That's the better angle of the two. Chirinos wants to toss a pitch or two just to stay loose. We'll await a decision here. We'll See whether that's going to be a double or whether the count's going to be a ball and a strike. There's one angle.
This is one that looks very, very close. Man, but that other angle looked pretty clear.
Yeah, and here's another one.
Yeah, foul ball.
Yeah, it's a foul ball. So it's a strike, and Andujar, who thought he had his 30th double. How about that? He has 29 doubles. And so 30's going to have to wait. Come back to the plate with 2 outs. The base is empty. And the count 1-1. Andujar came into the game hitting .289. An aggressive hitter up there. And this time up the middle. Robertson's right there and makes the play, and that takes care of New York. We go to the bottom half of inning 4, 1-0. Rays down. Date in 2013, David Price tossing a complete game at Fenway Park, utilizing just 97 pitches in that 5-1 Rays victory. And it turned out to be he was in a stretch where he had 3 complete games in a span of 4 starts, all fewer than 100 pitches. Strike one on Kevin Kiermaier to begin the bottom of the 4th. Rays looking for their first base runner. 9 up, 9 down. 5 strikeouts the first time through the lineup for Tanaka. Stairs 1-1. Well, he certainly appears, I'm not sure if appears is the right word. Let me put it this way. It seems as if he should be older than 29, Tanaka. But he's 29 years old.
Based off of his pitching acumen alone.
Yep.
You know, he pitches like a guy that's in his 15th year.
He does.
You know, and just understands how to manipulate a strike zone and a hitter and what he's trying to do. I was shocked when you told me. I was figuring he's the 32, 33 minimum.
Yeah, he'll be 30 in November. And he strikes out Kiermaier. Strikeout number 6.
And just worked him all the way across the zone. You know, the curveball is for strike 1, down and away, and we just move across until we pull one in and off.
It's really something to see when a pitcher has command of pitches the way he does.
And you know what? And as much as it's fun to watch guys sit back and throw 97, 98, it's nice to see a guy pitch at 90, 91, and have to pitch and move the ball around. It's like a throwback.
I think it's far more interesting that way. See, he's topped out at 91 so far.
Yeah.
6 strikeouts. He's faced 10 hitters. 1-1. So it shows you don't have to throw 100 to strike out hitters. He's doing quite well. He's averaging this year a strikeout per inning.
Yeah. And still that efficiency that you were talking about earlier of the 15 per in that range.
So you get pitchers, well, such as we have tonight, the last few innings. Chirinos in the 3rd and 4th. He had an 8-pitch 3rd, a 9-pitch 4th. Tanaka had an 8-pitch 2nd and a 9-pitch 3rd. So they're under double figures in pitch count in each of the last 4 half innings. Oh, a strike called out there, and then you get a call.
Well,
just a little bit on that corner, and Duffy's caught looking.
We talked about it a little bit last night. Sometimes the umpires will get in rhythm with the pitcher. And you've got a guy already that you talked about, Timmons, with his strike zone.
Yep.
And that tendency to widen it from time to time, and they certainly did there.
And that's been his tendency over the last few years. A little more than the league average in terms of strikes called versus non-strikes. Bowers on the ground, but Drury is out there in short right, so he's out of there on the first pitch. We're going to go to the 5th, 1-0 New York.
Gets old. George Brett, way deep, right field. See ya. Billy Martin, check that pine tar. And then the snap of the century. You'll never see that again.
No, never. Look at the chokehold. Here's the first pitch. Bird lines it into center, and it's right at Kiermaier. Top of the 5th, kind of slipped up on us there. We're watching every bit of the video of the snap.
Well, he just waiting. And as soon as it was Tim McClellan,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Tim McClellan calls him out, and you can't even say 0 to 60. It was faster than that.
Yeah, if he'd been running from home to first last night, we'd still be playing. The game would be tied. Here's Brandon Drury. He's down 1-0. Yeah, you'll just never see that again. It's hard to think that there's a set of circumstances where that would occur.
Well, you can't do much anymore. It's been legislated out of the game.
That's right.
They've sterilized the color of the game.
Yeah.
You don't get any good arguments anymore. Managers coming out.
Yeah, ejections are way down.
Oh, and if they're
that's going to have to be addressed.
And they're from afar.
Yeah.
You know, if you do get ejected, it's from the dugout to, you know, as you're walking off, and I don't know. Can't break up a double play anymore.
Yeah. Things are very calm.
Baseball's become a safe space.
Oh my.
I'm going to take this opportunity to nap.
There you go. We'll get back to you. Yeah, he's napping. 1-2 to Drury.
If you continue to push and harass, I may end up in the cry room. That was great. It was a couple of nights ago that the Montgomery Biscuits.
Oh, was that great?
Was that that was tremendous.
Yeah, they got a lot of publicity for that across the country.
Yes, good and bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Millennial night.
You know what was great about that, though?
The participation trophy.
Well, sure, that was wonderful too. But what I thought was so great, probably 90% of the staff at Montgomery are millennials.
Yes.
They're going, we're going to have a little fun here.
Poke some fun.
Yeah, it's our generation.
Right.
So we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Easy on them. You know, the rest of us are kind of offended, and we needed to have a little nap.
Have a sense of humor.
Yeah. Oh, that pitch up and in on the hand. Did he go? He did not. Boy, there was an ask by Tim Timmons down at first. And Drury's going, no, I did not swing. Ooh, take a look at this.
You know, Yonny Chirinos, and we talk about that movement, the way that ball can take off from time to time. You know, very limited innings so far, but he has hit now 5 guys. And I'll bet you all 5 of them are from the two-seamer that have taken off on him. Up and into a righty.
So Drury is at first base, reaching the hard way there. Been a tough year for him already. Spent more time on the disabled list than he would like. Among other things, severe migraines. And now that pitch in on his hand. Here's Neil Walker.
You know, the Yankees went out and brought Drury in with the sole purpose of, you're going to be our third baseman. And then those migraines hit. He has to go on the disabled list. Miguel Andujar takes over and has not let go of that position. So, you know, very tough. He was, for a time, Drury ended up getting optioned off the disabled list, option back to AAA, and was just killing it.
He's running, and the pitch lined into right for a base hit. Drury's going to go to third. The throw back to second. So Walker lines a base hit. And it's first and third.
And you could see as he got over to third base, that batting glove is now off. And you could see the hand still quivering. That got him good. Good velocity, you know, on that pitch from Chirinos that ran right up off his knuckles. This one stays in. They want that ball away. It never got there. Walker hammered it into right field, and here comes Aaron Boone, and you wonder if Brandon Drury is hurting worse than they initially thought.
Well, they're going to look at that hand. I think they want him to come out. Yeah, they'll have that looked at. That's a tough break for Drury. And everybody's hoping that it's really not a break. But take a look at that when he reached third.
You can can still see that hand just quivering and shaking, and he is in some pain.
Dr. Phil handling the situation over there.
Got a little rough on that left hand. The ham hands down there, all digging in.
Tyler Wade running at third. First and third, a little bit of a spot here for Chirinos. First pitch to Romine. Ball, no strikes. It's pretty close right there to the zone. Romine hitting .270 coming into this game for the year, and 12 of 36 with men in scoring position. So they're getting a good job behind the plate from him and a good job in clutch situations at the plate. He lays off. Oh, that pitch pretty close there.
Yeah.
But it's a ball, says Tim Timmons. Well, that's a tough missed call there for Chirinos.
It really is. That sinker right there at the bottom of the zone. Nothing wrong with that at all. And you would figure that he's going to try and work the bottom of the zone because what he wants more than anything else is ground ball. Ground ball, double play, and get out of this inning.
Three and nothing. Top of the order, Brett Gardner's on deck. .3-0. That's a strike. Hit batter and the base hit. First and third now. And a cut and a miss. Big swing to take the count full.
Boy, he went out there to go and get that with an aggressive 3-1 hack and the late action. Watch how this ties him up. Just cannot get the hands through them.
Well, you go to where you think that pitch is going to be, and then it starts to work its way in.
Yeah.
Wow.
So imagine thinking, okay, this is where I think it's going to be. I got to swing about 6-8 inches off that, closer. It's about what it looked like.
Runner breaks off first, a ground ball to third. Play's going to have to be at first. The run comes home. So Wade crosses the plate. Walker moves to second. Romine put the ball into play and picks up the run batted in. Duffy to Crone on the out.
A pitch or two too late. Got the ground ball that he was looking for, but runner in motion, you're not going to be able to turn the double play. And you saw Duffy take a quick peek at home and realize no chance that you're going to be able to get the runner at the plate. Watch him take a peek here. Can't do it. Got to take the out, but it costs you a run.
So Walker, who was breaking on the pitch, is now in scoring position. Top of the order, Brett Gardner in. He opened this game with a base hit and scored a run in the first. Another pitch down there. That appeared to be a pretty good pitch. I'll tell you, he's missed some pitches here in this inning, and it has cost Chirinos.
Yeah, it's cost him, you know, first pitch strikes, evening up the count, working from ahead, all the things that makes a pitcher like Chirinos successful.
I mean, those are pitches you expect to be rewarded for. Oh, strike.
And then see that when this happens, now the hitters and the pitcher are going, or is it or isn't it? Now you're guessing.
Yeah.
You just never want to be put into a situation where you're guessing, whether you're the hitter or the pitcher. I don't always have to agree and like the strike zone, but if it's consistent, you can live with it.
One. Yeah, and if you're Chirinos, you have to continue to go there. That's what you do.
Yep. I mean, if you've got to come up a hair to be able to get a call, but you can't. That's a fine line, because if you come up too much, now it flattens out and it gets smoked.
Yeah, it's very hittable then.
Absolutely. So you really put a guy like Chirinos, a power sinker guy, in a bad spot.
Now a snap throw back to second, and back in head first is Walker. And not unusual to see Sucre do that.
You try to pick up that out, try to keep him close on his secondary, but he comes up firing. Adames kind of asking for it.
Well, it's 3-1. Ground ball over the mound. Adames back of the bag makes the play. 1 run. The hit batter turns out to cost the Rays a run. 2-0 New York. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers. By Eldorado Furniture, a different kind of furniture store for over 50 years. And by your local Ford dealers. C.J. Cron opens the home half of the 5th. That's a strike call. Tyler Wade's in the game for the Rays, or for the Yankees here, as the Rays hit in the bottom of the 5th. Wade takes over at second. Cron a big cut, down 0-2.
Been saying that an awful lot here with Tanaka on the mound.
Oh, he had made just 42 pitches through 4 innings with 7 strikeouts. There's a base hit up the middle. Out of the reach of Wade and threw into Gardner in center field, and the Rays have their first hit. First base run.
Tanaka absolutely disgusted with himself. 2 perfect pitches to get ahead, and then much too hittable. Yeah, that's the thing. You try to make the 0-2 pitch really nasty, and you end up hanging it and leaving it up. And Cron just goes out there and swats it right into center.
Leadoff man aboard. Tanaka really not happy with himself. Is that written all over him or not? So here's Choi, Ji-Man Choi against Tanaka. It's a strike. I mean, Tanaka looked as if he lost the only friend he had in the world there, didn't he? I mean, he was not happy.
At all. I mean, the hat came off, the look of disgust, and what was I doing there? Tried to get a little bit too nasty.
And it's 1-1. Worth another look. Forlorn, to be sure.
And then right there, you get rid of it, and you got to get right back to work.
Yep. Shot up the right side, foul. Look out, fellas, down there in the bullpen area. Ball lodged down there somewhere. Disappeared.
Ball bag. Oh my gosh.
That's a hole in one.
It is.
A hole in one into the ball bag. Close, 2-2. Choi had 3 hits in the game last night. Serving as the DH, went 3 for 4. Back in the DH role again. Had an RBI single in the 5-run ninth in the game on Sunday. Had a home run Saturday. A few eventful days here for Choi recently.
He's getting some regular playing time and is starting to get in a little bit of a rhythm at the plate. Always helps.
And now he's worked a full count.
I'll tell you, he has taken some tough pitches, fouled off a tough pitch. Well, the Rays getting their second look here at Tanaka.
It's the first time they've seen him all year. And there is ball 4. So after that base hit, a walk drawn by Choi. 2 on with Robertson coming to the plate. Whether you're having a day out with the office or fun with friends, group tickets, the best way for your team to cheer on the Rays. Host your next company outing right here at Tropicana Field in an exclusive field level party area, or entertain clients in an executive suite. Visit RaysBaseball.com/groups today. Raise up. Well, Daniel Robertson at the plate. Robertson out pitcher first on the first pitch he saw in the second inning. He takes this one down around the bottom of the zone. That's a strike. First opportunity for the Rays coming here in the 5th. Cut and a miss. And that puts Robertson down 2 strikes.
You're waiting for him to hang one of those at some point. He has not done that so far. Another good split there.
bit of that one to stay alive. Well, Tanaka's been right on tonight through the first 4 innings. He was absolutely perfect. Got ahead of Crone, and he left a pitch up. The base hit to center, a walk to Choi. Robertson battling him down 0-2. It's too low, a ball, 2 strikes. Tanaka battled some shoulder discomfort last year. In fact, his earned run average last year was over 470. 13-12 in 30 starts. He made 30 starts, had 1 complete game, gave up 35 home runs last year. It's a foul ball, well out of play. Deep into the seats. Robertson hitting 6th in the lineup. Malik Smith on deck. And he fouls another one. So Robertson down in the count, battling here to find a little better count to hit in or wait for a mistake.
And you do that by fouling off the tough pitches, and we just saw it. That little half swing on that split that was away. Just spoil it. Work for another pitch. Battle, and hope for a mistake. That's what you're doing right now if you're Daniel Robertson.
And he takes this one low. Well, he's 2-2 now after falling behind. 7-pitch advance so far.
You know, and if you're Tanaka, you got to think about going with the 4-seamer up in the zone. Everything here to Robertson has been down, and once he got ahead of him, everything that he's tried to finish him with has been down, and he's starting to zone in down there. You could probably 4-seam, try to come up at the top of the zone, catch him by surprise. It's got to at least cross your mind.
2-2, and he got him. Struck him out.
You know, sometimes that slider looks like a slider. He has some depth to it. Other times it's almost like a big cutter. Watch this one. It stays relatively flat. Right off of the tip of the fingers. That has more of a cutter look than a true slider, but it's big.
Well, that's what they talk about when you're trying to identify that pitch, and it looks like a fastball. Got a pretty good spin rate, apparently.
I think that his ability to manipulate the baseball.
Alex Smith on the ground to first. Walker down to second, back to first. In time for the double play. Tanaka getting over there. Walker started the double play. And the Rays threaten but do not score. And here's a look.
As tough as it gets with Malik Smith running. Great job by Tanaka getting over there.
Masahiro Tanaka has been very, very good tonight. 5 innings. He gave the Rays absolutely nothing for 4. And Chirinos making the start for the Rays. Gregorius chopper got a run home in the first. The hit batter in the 5th inning led to another run. Romine's ground ball scored him. So Yanni Chirinos against Masahiro Tanaka. Through 5, it's 2-0. We go to the 6th, and the pitch to Judge is a strike on the outside corner. Judge singled in the first. 1 for 2.
It's been an interesting game here offensively for the Yankees. You know, they've got 2 runs, but they've really manufactured those runs. Couple of hits string together, take advantage of a wild pitch, some RBI ground outs. Not typically the way that they score.
Yeah, both their runs coming on ground balls. 1 and 2. Stanton will be next, then Gregorius, with Judge leading off. Chirinos had made 65 pitches through the first 5. Well, that pitch coming in on him. We've seen that a lot tonight. The movement from Chirinos.
I think that was a hanging split.
Yeah.
Watch this one get away from
wow.
him. It's not exactly where he wanted it, and that's not exactly the swing that Aaron Judge would like to take.
We'll throw that one out and come back with another 1-2 pitch.
Make the adjustment. You see Sucre right there. Those 2 pitches have come up and in, and he just pointed. I want down over here.
Cutting a miss, he strikes him out.
Well, you know, he kept trying to make the adjustment on that split, and still has not been able to do that. Got the result that he wanted, which I guess at the end of the day is what you're looking for. Here's the previous pitch, so the one that went way up and in. Like Sucre, tell him, I want this ball down and away. Foul ball while Judge is looking away. Hey, oh, nope, gone.
Stanton takes a pitch high. Let's take another look at the strikeout. Shot off the bat at Stanton into left center, and Kiermaier's there in front of the track to make the catch. A head launch, but not a lot of depth.
You know, I think that ball off the end of the bat. It definitely, you know, when you think about a ball coming off the bat like that with Stanton, you're thinking it's going to go a long way, but I think it was off the barrel, off the end, and so it just is not going to have the same juice. See this pitch as he starts to pull off right off the end of the bat. So it looks good. Didn't sound particularly good and did not carry.
Gregorius takes a pitch down, 1-0. Gregorius lifts it into center. In comes Kiermaier, out. Adames makes the catch. 1-2-3. 2-0 New York. Rays Baseball Foundation support youth and educational programs in Tampa Bay by purchasing a Rays Pledge Pack. Each pack includes a voucher for 4 tickets, a 20th anniversary book, mystery autograph, baseball, and more. Get a $250 value for only $150 and help support charitable missions around Tampa Bay. Visit RaysBaseball.com. Willie Adames took care of that popper off the bat of Gregorius in center field. Going out from short to make the catch. He leads off the bottom of the inning. And a couple pitches out of the zone. The miss down and away. It's 2-0 the count. Masahiro Tanaka has allowed the Rays 1 hit, no runs. Strike 2 and 1. Sucre next. And then back to the top of the order, Kiermaier. Evens the count. It's going to be full. Choi went 3-2 with him in the 5th, walked. Now 3-2 to Adames to lead off the bottom of the 6th. Pops it up, right side foul. Walker's after it. That ball will not be playable. Well, last night the Rays saw Luis Severino, and he's been everything in this rotation for the Yankees. I mean, you look at Severino and then all the other starters with that earned run average over 4.5.
Yeah, and even right down to the record, not bad on the record, but you compare that to 18-3 in starts by Severino, and that's why you expect the Yankees to be involved heavily on the trade market for starters. We've also heard that they've been closing the gap on some other teams for going after Zach Britton.
Yeah, that's another way to approach that. You shorten the game even more.
Well, that's it. I mean, you have your starters, and if you're not going to, trust them to go deeper into a game, just build that bullpen from the back and close it down. Now you ask your starters to go 4-5, and you can turn it over to a very vaunted bullpen.
Down to short. Gregorius makes the throw. Adames is the first out.
I mean, think about the options that Boone would have. Let's just throw it out there. They acquire Zach Britton, and then you start to think about Jonathan Holder, Adam Warren. I mean,
you got
Robertson, Betances.
I mean, do you get better than that? You're already at the top of the list.
You could probably take it down to 258, 255. You bring in Britton. I mean, you talk about having Chad Green.
Hey, a base hit off the bat of Sucre, lined over the head of Gregorius.
You give each of those guys an inning in a must-win game, your starter would have to go 3.
Well, coming into this game, and we've seen Tanaka be very, very good here tonight, but his earned run average is over 4.5. It's 454 coming into this game. Certainly doesn't look like it tonight. I mean, he's been so good. Rays tried to push him a little bit in the 5th, and the double play ended that. Now a 1-out single. Sucre is aboard, and here's the top of the order, Kevin Kiermaier. Ball 1, the fastball away and up a bit. And again, Tanaka can be home run prone. 18 this year in 15 starts. Ground ball this time, however. Gregorius in the middle. Throw to first is in time. Wade, Gregorius to Walker. And for the 2nd straight inning, the Yankees got the double play. We go to the 7th. 2-0 New York.
Spotlight. We're looking at second baseman Vidal Brujan, who is in low A Bowling Green this season, and here are his Midwest League ranks. He ranks 5th in hits, 7th in average, but 1st in runs scored with 75 runs, and then 2nd in stolen bases with 37. And guys, the number that stands out is 75. I mean, 75 of the runs scored for that team were him. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'll tell you, at any time of year, but they've got a little baseball to go, and he's at 75. You know, you look at the minor league schedules, you know, it's tough to score 75, 85 runs in a minor league season.
You play a full month short. I mean, you play 5 months as opposed to obviously 6 in the major leagues. And like you said, you still got a ways to go here.
First pitch here into Andujar. It's a strike. Andujar, Bird, and then Wade due up in the 7th inning. Due up in the bullpen for the Rays. Ground ball. That's going to get through the left side. Into left, down to the reach of Adames. And Duhar has his first hit. Stay tuned in the middle of the 7th inning here for the Ram game break. Brought to you by the all-new 2019 Ram 1500. Greg Bird about to step in. Pitch count at 78 now for Chirinos. It's low. Gray keeps it in front of him. Bird with that base hit in the 2nd inning. His last 9 games he's driven in 13 runs. So that's more than half of his runs batted in all year. They've come in the last 9.
Now the Yankees have been hopeful that at some point Greg Bird would get into a rhythm and start to produce at the plate like they feel that he can. Undone by injuries, and that always hurts a hitter's rhythm. You're in the lineup, then out for an extended period of time and just can never get settled in.
He lifts it to the left side toward the line. Bauer's coming in, and that ball's going to fall. He's chasing it in foul territory. Will be a play at third. Safe there, and Duhar trailing into second is Bird. Well, Duffy tried to get out from the infield, and Bauer's playing well off the line, tried to get over there. And both found themselves in trouble as Duffy tried to back it up, and Bowers scrambled to take it on a big hop.
Well, there's Bowers, there's Duffy, and this ball's going to be out into no man's land here. A high pop-up. You thought as high as it was, they'd have time to get there. But look at the angles. Tough angles, and then a little miscommunication and indecision. And Andujar able to get in on that slide. The Rays going to take a look at it. I guess why not?
Well, Adama's trying to get the tag down. Right now it's second and third, nobody out in the 7th inning.
Let's see, this throw just wide. Adames bringing back the tag. Boy, it looks like that foot of Andujar got in there just ahead of the glove. But let's take a look. This will be a good shot of it. Does it get him? Oh boy, is that close. Problem is, this goes against the Rays on the field. So this is another one of those has stands written all over it, but we'll see.
Tim Timmons getting down there to make the call. Well, potentially a very difficult spot here for Chirinos and the Rays. It's a second and third, nobody out situation for New York in the 7th, with New York already leading 2-0. So Andujar got in there. Out of all that, it will remain second and third. Call stands. There's a closer look.
They got all the dirt going, and you're hoping, you know, did it graze the foot before it gets to the shin? That's what the Rays, that's the chance they were taking.
Second and third, the Rays pull the infield up. Tyler Wade, the hitter, which just missed.
Well, Yonny Chirinos has the pitches to get what the Rays want right here. That's that ball on the ground, look the runner back, take the out, or maybe cut him down at the plate if he goes on contact.
Foul ball, out of play. Wade just getting the bat out there, trying to make some contact here with second and third, nobody out.
And getting underneath it. That's all he's trying to do. Just play pepper with the outfield. You know that he's going to try and work you down in the zone. You want to get down, beat him to the spot, and get the ball in the air.
Disappeared on him. 1 and 2. Wade in the game back in the 5th inning when Drury was hit by a pitch and eventually had to leave. Two. The on deck man, Walker. Chirinos has given up 2 runs, 6 hits, 84 pitches here. Hitters into the 7th inning. Way wide. The count is full, and Sucre exhorting him.
He's been having trouble with that split, and we saw that even with the strikeout to Aaron Judge in the 6th inning. Couldn't quite make that adjustment to get that tumbling action, to get it to bottom out of the zone. They've been kind of hanging up there a little bit.
And he got him to chase. Big strikeout right there.
And nice to have another weapon to be able to go to, and it's the slider.
Strikeout number 6 for Chirinos, and it's a big one. And then it's second and third. Nobody out. Now they're going to send Walker down to first intentionally. Austin Romine will be the hitter. Now, Romine twice tonight has hit the ball on the ground, and the Rays looking for one of those right now. He's grounded to short and to third. Got to run home with that ground ball to third in the 5th inning. And he does hit the ball on the ground a lot. Chirinos wants to chat with Sucre.
Well, this is where, you know, you get called out there, and Sucre's got to tell him, hey, listen, you're coming down to your last few pitches. Everything that you have left, it's time to give it to me. You could have a starter out there who is tiring, who's pitched out of the stretch quite a bit here tonight against a tough lineup. He's been challenged, and this is where you need some of that late action. You need him to empty the tank.
And a fly ball into right. Smith lines up to make the catch, and Duhart tags. He's going to score. It's a 3-0 game. Bird goes to third. And Romine got the ball into the air for the sacrifice fly. Drives in his 2nd run of the game.
The pitch just stayed flat. That's what allowed him to be able to do that, and that will be the last pitch that Chirinos throws tonight.
Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. The new Monopoly jackpot scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery. A new spin on a classic loaded with prizes from $10,000 to $2 million. Unleash the excitement anytime. The Florida Lottery. It's your ticket. Claim it.
Well, Yonny Chirinos pitching here into the 7th inning, and I'll tell you what, he made the Yankees work and earn every run that they got. Kept them in the yard, which is one of the keys, one of the big keys to trying to defeat this Yankee team and go against this lineup, picking up some strikeouts along the way. That was a nasty slider right there to be able to get Tyler Wade here in this 7th inning. And you see the final line, 6 2/3, the 3 earned runs, just the 1 walk, 87 pitches, very efficient. Gives away to Chi-Wei Hu.
He inherits 2 men accountable to the line for Chirinos. 3rd appearance for Hu. Total of 7 2/3. He faces the top of the order, Brett Gardner. To the strike. Gardner singled to open this game and scored the first run. Fastball misses. It's 1-1. Two out of Taiwan, originally in the Twins organization, got to the big leagues for a handful of games last year with the Rays. Was 1-1 with a 270 in 6 appearances. That makes it a 2-1 count. Two and two. We talked about Chirinos keeping the Yankees in the ballpark. In fact, all 3 of their runs have come without the benefit of a hit. Sacrifice fly, the last one. The other 2 runs scored on ground ball outs. The Warriors drove in run number 1 in the first with a ground ball to short. Second run came in the 5th on a ground ball to third by Romine, and then Romine with a fly ball to right field, scoring the run here in the 7th.
Really, when you look at the Rays' run of success here, recent run of success against the Yankees this season, that's what they've done. They've forced them to try to put innings together, done a much better job of keeping the ball in the yard, limiting home runs, because that's how this team scores. That's how they put up big numbers. Problem is the Rays haven't scored.
Full count on Gardner with Aaron Judge on deck. It's popped up left side, foul. Duffy will have a play and makes the catch, retiring the side. Yankees score 1. They leave a couple. We're in the middle of the 7th inning. It's a 3-0 ball game. Right now. On with Masahiro Tanaka headed out to the mound here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As you look at the breakout of his outs recorded, 8 strikeouts and 9 ground ball outs.
Yeah, 1 ball in the air. That's how good he has been. And when he's found himself into trouble, he's made big pitches and gotten some big double plays.
There's Duffy hitting one on the ground to short. Gregorius takes care of that. Duffy was the only guy who hit the ball into the air when he lined out to right center in the first. Now grounds to short to begin the bottom of the 7th inning. Just 72 pitches for Tanaka. Well, the Rays have to be very encouraged with Chirinos tonight. Overall, you look at his outing, 6 2/3 of 3 runs, 6 hit baseball here. Gave up the intentional walk, had 6 strikeouts.
All that on just 87 pitches, so it wasn't like he was wasting many.
I don't know the count here on Bowers. Strike 1-1. Received word that the X-rays on Drury's hand were negative, so that's a positive for Drury. Tap right side. Tanaka's going to have to cover, and he takes the flip nicely there. That's out number 2. Well done.
Always anxious to see where the first baseman is going to flip that ball, and trusting Tanaka. The simple fact he was able to get over there on the 3-6-1 double play says Neil Walker says, you know what, I'll lead you right to the bag. That was well done. Got to go get it and get it to your pitcher. It's as clean as it gets.
So a couple of quick outs in the 7th inning. Boy, how many times have we said that tonight on these quick outs with ground balls early in the count?
Pitching with a lot of confidence here tonight. How many mistakes has he made? You remember the one to Crone on an 0-2 count. We well documented the reaction of Tanaka to that pitch. But outside of that, he has been very good. And look at even that. You see the way he caught that ball? He's up in the count 0-1, got strike 1, and is not at all happy with himself because it wasn't a quality strike. Hold yourself to a high standard.
Quickly ahead of C.J. Crone, 0-2. He had 2 3-ball counts in the first inning. The rest of the night, he's had only 2 more 3-ball counts. Up 0-2 on Crone.
Having trouble coming to a decision here on a pitch. Ended up with the fastball in. See if he goes back in there.
Popped up. Romine after it. And that's just out of play. Romine went to the right spot, but they were separated by the screen. Rays have left only 1 man. That shot into left center field. That's going to go to the wall. Extra bases for Crone. A 2-base hit. Crone's 19th double of the year comes with 2 outs in the 7th.
Now we've seen teams try to attack Crone up in the zone, especially up and in, and he tries to come back with another fastball up in the zone. You can see where Romine is sitting and how he's sitting. They want that ball elevated, but he didn't get it high enough, and Crone just laid into it.
Well, the Rays with a man in scoring position. It's only happened twice tonight. Crone has been the runner each time. 2-out double here in the 7th, and now Choi. Choi struck out and walked.
And Dwayne, as we were discussing earlier, it is now being widely reported that Zach Britton is headed to the New York Yankee bullpen.
How about that?
How about that?
Wow. They're going to shorten the game even more.
I mean, good luck getting everybody innings.
Strike at the knees.
I'll tell you, that is something, because you already have statistically the #1 bullpen in baseball, and you add Zach Britton, who they're saying his velocity is back up in that 94, 95, 96 range with the good sinking action, the different ways that they'll be able to utilize him.
Ground ball back to first. Walker unassisted. The Rays leave a man at second base. And we will go to the 8th, 3-0 New York. Let's go places by Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers, and by your local Honda dealer. Rays trailed 3-0. Coming away with a 7-6 win last night. They got 6 2/3 from Yonny Chirinos. Hu in the game. He got the final out in the 7th, leaving a couple men on base. And we go to the 8th with Aaron Judge leading off. Takes a big cut at that high fastball, swinging through it, strike one. Two. Big swing right there, and I'm out in front. First strikeout for who? Right now, let's go down to Michelle.
Well, Dwayne and BA, I know you guys have been waiting the entire broadcast to know the answer to today's Trivia Tuesday question. So earlier in the broadcast, we asked you before last night with Giancarlo Stanton, who was the last Yankee to record hits in 9 consecutive at-bats in one road venue? And if you answered A, Lou Piniella, you are correct. From September 3rd, 1982 to May 3rd, 1983, he was 9 for 9 at Kansas City's Kauffman Stadium. All right, Dwayne and BA, which one of you guys knew that? Because I knew one of you guys knew.
Yeah,
Dwayne was a given that you knew.
I knew, yeah, that Lou was the guy.
I knew it only because I had read about that earlier in the day and was very proud. Listen, my knee jerk was Reg.
Yeah.
I was going to go with Reg. You know why? Because Reg was B.
Oh, yeah?
And we always go B. And so we had talked about maybe, moving it around the board a little bit.
Yep.
And they did. They went A.
Yep.
That's
they did.
a great job all around.
Well, Lou Piniella. People talk about Lou as a player and as a manager in baseball. He's a pretty good basketball player.
We heard that.
Yep.
Or I heard that from you.
And and he also coached basketball. And if you thought he was fired up as a manager, talk to some of those guys who were on those basketball teams he coached. He was really fired up as a basketball coach. You can only imagine. Stanton with a 2-2 count takes a fastball high, and now it's 3-2. Yeah, Lou went back to Kansas City and went 9 for 9. He was Rookie of the Year with Kansas City. Broke in with the Royals. Swing and a miss. Stanton out on strikes. Oh, 2 gone. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your local Honda dealers. BA and Orestes breaking down the 2018 Hall of Fame class. And Orestes will sit down with Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson. See what's on Reggie's mind. We get a chance to sit back and enjoy that. That's going to be a little longer than usual interview. Look out right here. Gregorius up there, and that ball hit Timmons.
Yeah, that shot right over the glove of Sucre and hit Timmons right in the mask. No deflection.
I'll tell you, that's a little scary.
Direct. Wow.
Timmons a lot of credit right there. Who came down to check with him? He says, "No, I'm fine." You're fine after that? 2 balls, no strikes. Cut and a miss. That's foul. Talking about Lou Piniella, he broke in as a rookie. Actually, technically, made his debut with the Orioles, and then a short stint with the Indians before Kansas City in '69, and then still had his rookie status in Kansas City in '69. 2-2 count here on Gregorius. Who in relief of Chirinos. And strike 3, a cut and a miss. Who strikes out the side. Daniel Robertson will open the bottom of the 8th. Time now for the Lowe's whole team together. The Rays in their last 19 home games have gone 16-3, averaging 4.6 runs a game over that stretch. They've received great pitching from both the starters and the bullpen. Daniel Robertson begins the bottom of the 8th, taking a strike from Tanaka. Sahiro Tanaka still out there, giving the Rays no runs on just 3 hits and a walk. Chop down to third base, and Duhar gloves and throws, and Robertson is the first out in the 8th. MLB at Bat, your #1 Rays app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Rays home screen icons and features such as MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat now. Here's Malik Smith. Alex has struck out. Going to do a double play in the 5th with the pitcher Tanaka covering. Making a nice play over there to complete the double play. Two and 0. Well, Tanaka's been a technician tonight. That's Betances up in the bullpen, ready to come in behind Tanaka. But the pitch count right there, 86. Facing his second man in the 8th. 2-1.
Well, you cannot be much better. And last night, you start trolling around on some of these websites talking about the Yankees, and they said last night could have been their worst loss of the year. Very frustrating loss for this team, and so you get a veteran like Tanaka that says, well, I'm going to go out and do something about it. And he has been locked in from pitch 1, literally from pitch 1.
Puts it into left. Stanton will go back, reaching up on the track to make the catch. 2 outs in the 8th. Well, and he's done it, as you referenced early, to see a guy rack up the strikeouts and throw 90, 91 with all the other stuff he has. In fact, that fastball turns out to be really a secondary pitch for him. When you look at all the pitchers, we've seen Lance McCullers, who throws a breaking ball, has got a great one. That fastball is not the dominant pitch for him. And Tanaka, really the same way. That fastball is not his primary pitch, which is unusual.
And he kind of splits. He splits it 3 ways, really, between the slider, the split, and that fastball. Then he'll sprinkle in a cutter. I mean, he forces you to have to deal with so much.
Ahead of Adamas 0-2.
Man, the difference too, you reference McCullers, his fastball 94, 95, 96.
Yep.
And he still, features that breaking ball.
Stairs 1 and 2. How about that? Your breaking ball is so good. I think I'm going to throw that instead of 94, 95, 96.
I'd have a real hard time with that.
That's really amazing. 2 and 2 now.
You think about last year when the Astros closed out the Yankees in the ALCS.
That's all he threw.
Last 20, it was either 24 25 pitches of the outing was curveballs in a row. Got the job done.
And a foul tip strikeout. Adamas out number 3 in the 8th. We go to the 9th, 3-0 New York.
of Masahiro Tanaka, and we just said it last half inning. He was locked in from pitch number 1, very efficient with everything that he's done. The split really came out of the gate, a hot pitch for him, working the slider around the zone, occasional cutter, occasional curveball to the lefties to get ahead. And he has been absolutely fantastic, stepping up when his team needed him the most. And so far, it's been 8 shutout innings here against the Rays.
93 pitches. We go to the 9th inning. Who on the mound for the Rays? And Miguel Andujar goes after the first pitch and lifts it foul. Who struck out the side in the 8th? He got Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and Didi Gregorius all on swinging third strikes. Inning and a third under his belt in relief of Yonny Chirinos. Foul ball takes the count to 0-2. Baltimore leading the Red Sox 4-3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Game in Baltimore. Red rain over there. That's a line shot back into left. Number 1 hop off the wall and deflect over the low wall for a double. Andujar, who was denied a double earlier on a ball that was originally called fair, and on the second look when the Rays challenged it, it was a foul ball, but this one double number 30 for Andujar this year.
We're able to get to that mistake up and in and just drive it and deflect off the wall and head over the short wall in left field. Yankees threaten once again. There's that 30th double. What an impressive campaign so far for Andujar.
Bird screws over that one. Strike 1. Change up. Who trying to hold the Yankees, but this leadoff double gives them another scoring opportunity. The Yankees did have Betances up in the 8th. Tanaka with 8 shutout innings of 3-hit baseball tonight has been very economical with his pitches. High popper, that's a foul ball and is caught by Cron. So 1 away in the 9th. Don't forget, Rays Live, the post game presented by WB Mason, will follow our game coverage. Rich Doug and Orestes anchoring the coverage as they break out Tanaka's dominant performance tonight. We'll hear from Kevin Cash and get the updates from the Rays minor league system. Here's Tyler Wade. 0 for 1. Pitch is down. Wade in the game when Brandon Drury was hit by a pitch, stayed on to run, and then by the time he went first to third, they removed him from the game. He had x-rays on his hand. They were negative. So Wade playing in his place. Strike 1-1. Ground ball outside the bag at first. Takes the count to 1-2. The Rays recalled who from Durham. This is his 4th time up with the Rays this year. Chopper foul. And out in front. Neil Walker on deck. Two and two. Chirinos worked 6 2/3. 87 pitches. Took over in the 7th. And that is strike 3 call. Got it on the corner and strikes out Wade. Strikeout number 4 for Who, and 10 on the night for Rays pitching.
And I think every one of them have been that changeup. That's been a good pitch for him here in this outing.
After the leadoff double, Bird and Wade have been retired, and here is Walker. And now a strike. Walker had a base hit in the 5th inning. Was intentionally walked back in the 7th, first time up. Chirinos got him. And there's Tanaka in the dugout. 8 innings of shutout baseball, 93 pitches. Little looper into short left. That will fall. Big hop. There will be a throw toward the plate, but not in time on the base hit. And Duhar scores. And the Yankees make it 4-0. Walker drives in the run.
And what sounded like a little broken bat. I mean, just kind of flipped that ball. A little two-seamer. You see it running away right off the end of that bat. And he did crack the handle. And just drops it out there in front of Jake Bauers. He's got to wait for that ball to come down. And by then it's too late.
The RBI single puts Walker aboard. Here's Austin Romine. Romine drove in a run with a fly ball in the 7th, a ground ball in the 5th inning, got a run home, and he fouls his first pitch back. So Walker, the number 8 hitter, has just driven in a run, 2 runs out of Romine in the 9th spot. Gregorius drove in 1 with a ground ball in the 1st. So this base hit here in the 9th inning, giving the Yankees their first run driven home with a hit tonight. They've done it on 2 ground balls and a fly ball before the base hit by Walker. Tap, middle of the infield. Robertson stowed to first in time to get Romine. We're going to go into the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rays are down by 4. Sucre's due to lead it off. complete games and 120 previous starts out here to begin the bottom of the 9th.
Well, and the pitch breakout tonight, that fastball, Dwayne, taking a way back seat. Just 19 as opposed to 31 of the splits, 27 sliders, mixed in 12 cutters, some early curveballs. He's done a great job of mixing and matching, going with what has been working. And you can't argue with the results, that's for sure.
Leading off the bottom of the 9th inning, Jesus Sucre. The top of the order due to follow, and that first pitch is in there for a strike. Sucre has one of the 3 hits. One and one. A couple shutouts for Tanaka in his career. The most recent at Fenway, that was in April of 2017, a 3-hit shutout. Shut out the Mets in 2014 on 4 hits. A tapper foul. And so far tonight, like the Red Sox in April of 2017, the Rays have been limited. No runs, 3 hits. Gregorius up with it. The shortstop throws out Sucre. Well, the hits tonight have been collected by C.J. Cron. He has 2 of the 3 hits, a single and a double. Sucre just grounded out, has the other hit.
It's been interesting, this Rays lineup, and some of the flamethrower starters that they've had really good games against, good at bats against. You know, think about Verlander, and they got to those Astro pitchers here in that homestand and all the stuff that they had. They get to Severino in last night's ball game with all of his stuff, and then it's the guys like Tanaka topping out at 91, 92. The 3 starters that they face from the Marlins. You think about Lopez and Straley and Trevor Richards. Didn't blow you away with stuff, but boy, they moved the ball around and really handcuffed this lineup.
It's a 1-1 count on Kevin Kiermaier. Well, that gives you an idea that in an era where velocity is the name of the game, it appears, you still don't have to overpower hitters, because he's certainly not done that tonight.
No.
You're talking 91 maybe.
Yeah. So I mean, and by the way, he hasn't even used that much, as we saw. He's maybe thrown 20, 21 fastballs at this point of the 100 pitches so far. Everything with movement, everything with deception.
The 1-2. And a long one, but well foul out in front of that one. One out, base is empty. Ground ball right side. Wade takes care of that from his second base spot. 2 up, 2 down. The Rays have been shut out 6 times. They have 8 shutouts on the year. And they're 1 out away from being shut out tonight. Here's Matt Duffy. Duffy has lined out, has been called out on strikes, and is grounded out. Strikeouts, ground balls, only a couple fly ball outs tonight. Malik Smith in the 8th and Duffy lined to right in the 1st. Did up the right side out of play, and it's 1-1. There you are, 9 strikeouts, 15 ground ball outs, and just the 2 fly balls.
You really can't distribute your outs much better than that. That just, again, just another statistic that speaks to how in control he's been.
Ground ball, shortstop, Gregarious to first, and this one is over. 3 ground balls in the 9th inning, and Tanaka from the get-go was dominant, and he throws a 3-hit shutout tonight to even this current series at a game apiece. The Yankees win this one 4-0. 3rd career shutout for Tanaka, his 6th complete game, 1st this year. 4-8-0, 5 left for the Yankees. 0-3-0 with 2 left for the Rays. Tanaka 8-2, Chirinos 0-2, and here's the final out.
Yeah, just keep having these Rays hitters pound the ball into the zone. That's 16 ground ball outs, 9 strikeouts, 2 balls in the air, and the obligatory hug after a complete game shutout.
So the Rays and the New York Yankees will wrap up the series tomorrow afternoon. For Brian Anderson and Michelle Margot, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. If not, the outcome 4-0 New York, and Rays live the post game right around the corner.